Hello and welcome to Pacific Dialogue. I'm your host, Xiaoyan. Today, we have a special guest joining us in the studio, Michael Zakur. Michael is the VP of China, Asia Pacific Strategy, and the Global Digital Practices at Tompkins International. He's also the author of China Super Consumers and a regular columnist for Beijing Review. Involved with the Chinese market since the early 2000s, Michael has witnessed China's transformation from the world's factory to the world's largest consumer, a technology and innovation hub, an e-commerce powerhouse, and the leading driver of global growth. Michael has agreed to share with us his China story and his insights into China's economic restructuring and reform and opening up.
When I first came to China, I went to work for a Chinese manufacturing company. But my first experience was a little surprising. My boss came out on the first day, and he essentially, through the interpreter, told me he wanted to go. And I thought, am I being fired? Is this a cultural misunderstanding? But what he wanted was for me to leave Beijing and wander around China for 90 days. And so that's what I did. In trains, buses, bicycles, walking, I explored China. And then I came back, and he told me again through the interpreter that I needed to leave. This time I went to a pig farm, and I learned how to take care of pigs, love the pigs, feed the pigs, and then take their skins, because we made our leather jackets from high quality pig skin leather. And then the final lesson was he had me work on the factory floor. And this was one of the most valuable experiences of my professional life. It was like getting an MBA, a new MBA in business. So that was my first experience. And so what's happened over the last 16, 17 years for me is my career has progressed in terms of really closely tracking how China's progressed. So I spent years in the manufacturing, sourcing, and supply chain economy. And then in 2005, I created my own consulting firm and started focusing on the China consumer market. And so for the last 13 years, I've been helping foreign brands, retailers, investors, service providers to enter the China market, to engage Chinese consumers, and to become more successful. As China has become a very technology and digital commerce-driven economy, again, I was very much involved from that movement in the very, very early days. Well, this is the 40th anniversary of the opening up and reform movement. And what we've seen here in China is the most rapid development of an economy and a people in world history. When we look at the hundreds of millions of people who've been lifted from poverty, we have a middle class of over 300 million people. That's going to double soon. The urbanization and the movement from manufacturing to services, innovation, technology. It's one of the great triumphs of human history. So clearly the experiment in reform and opening has been a success. And the impact it has on the world is almost too numerous to mention. I mean, China has become the second largest economy, and it's a country that everyone has to think about, has to engage in one way or another. And so when we see Chinese technology and innovation, consumption, these are factors that have an effect on every company and every consumer in the world.
That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Goodbye until next time.